It's always wild when I talk about a story out of Arkansas because I know my dad is originally from the state of Arkansas. So I got a lot of love for the people out there in a lot of the cities, especially some of the smaller cities. With this story, there comes a tragedy, a very wild tragedy. And I know this really shook this community to the core that lives in this area. So before I give you guys the details about this individual and that woman that has that black eye, oh my goodness, that thing looks bad. Let me give you guys a fair warning about my content. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. An Arkansas mother and another man, I'm assuming probably mom's boyfriend, it's always the narrative, have been arrested. And I'm getting this information from lawandcrime.com, so I always appreciate their hard work. Thank you for the article. And oh my God, look at her face. Somebody knocked the dog SH_T out of her face. Because I don't know if I can cuss yet before I get my video demonetized. Look at her face. Wow. Y'all are not going to feel bad when you hear about what they are accused of doing. A mother and another man have been arrested after police say that they found a 6-year-old boy dead and buried underneath a hallway floor of a home. He was buried under the home. Lord have mercy. Like, you just can't be this level of dumb. Like, if you hate kids, why do kids like this? I don't understand that. And I never will. The boy's sister, who's also age 6, is still alive, but had to be taken to the hospital for what they believe to be burns to her scalp, which is the little girl there. I know some websites had her face blocked out, some didn't. So you'll see those pictures. Oh, goodness. Let's keep going. Based on initial findings, it's believed that the boy died from injuries sustained in the home, possibly 3 months ago. Let me say that again. They believe the boy died from his injuries 3 months ago. That means that this little girl's brother and this little girl realized that her brother wasn't around. Maybe she knew he passed away. Maybe she didn't know. But know that her brother wasn't around. And then to know that they were living in a house with a decomposing body underneath it. Y'all hear me? There had to have been a smell. Let's keep going. The state medical examiner will determine the manner and cause of death. I hope they could actually give us the manner and cause. Authorities arrested their mother, Ashley Rowland, who was 28 years old, which is... Oh, let me see if I can get her face back up here, because I like seeing her with that black eye right there. That's the picture I like right there. That's my favorite picture right there. So when I make that thumbnail, best believe I'm putting that picture as the thumbnail right there. 28 years old, and a man named Nathan Bridges, 33 years old, and they were arrested for capital murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, and endangering the welfare of a minor. So I'm going to assume that's mom's boyfriend. The situation turned up Friday night in Lee County. Special agents of the Arkansas State Police Criminal Investigation Division were called to the scene by Lee County Sheriff's deputies about 10:45 p.m., authorities wrote. Agents are also investigating injuries believed to be burns to the scalp sustained by a 6-year-old girl who also lived in the same home located in Morrow community west of Mariana. Authorities took the young survivor to the hospital where she's in stable condition. Now, they actually put up a GoFundMe and they posted some of the pictures of the condition of this little girl. Boy, that little girl was in bad shape, but she's doing better now. So put her prayer hands up in the. That's my oh yes, love that picture. Let's go back to that. Love that picture right there. Love that picture right there. That is a beautiful picture. But I wish the other guy, this Nathan dude, I wish he would have had a picture just like that. If somebody would have taken like a one of those professional baseball pitcher machines and just aimed it at his eyeball and gave him a shiner just like hers. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That is pretty right there. That's the best this woman has looked in a long time. All right. She said she saw no signs that something like this was going to happen. And that's according to, let me see. I might have skipped a little bit. Authorities took her to the hospital. Rowland and Bridges were taken to the Lee County Jail. It's devastating, Farrell reportedly said, because it's just out of nowhere, right in Christmas time. It's surreal. She said she saw no signs that something like this was going to happen. Sometimes you see kids out playing, but they really kept to themselves. You see them coming and going, but nothing to be concerning that would make you think anything of this magnitude was going on. Besides the fact that a child was missing for 3 months, that is just crazy. Let me give you guys the fair usage. I'll let you hear what the neighbors had to say. Let's go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys would do me a favor and please click that thumbs up to share this video to raise awareness. I know the people in Arkansas are probably devastated, but share these videos so more people can hear what actually happened because it shouldn't be happening.
This is a small, quiet town. Nothing like this has happened around here.
Glenda Farrell is still reeling from learning the tragic details of what was going on in the small white home next door. Around 10:45 Friday night, Arkansas State Police say a 6-year-old boy's body was found inside of this home in Murrow, Arkansas. The investigation shows the boy died from injuries he sustained in the home 3 months ago. Tonight, his mother, 28-year-old Ashley Rowland, is locked up in the Lee County Jail and charged with capital murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. The mother's boyfriend, 33-year-old Nathan Bridges, facing those same charges.
Sometimes you'd see kids outside playing, but they really kept to themselves. You know, you'd see them coming and going, but really nothing to be concerning that would make you think anything of that magnitude was going on.
The state medical examiner will determine the exact cause of death. Police also investigating burns to another 6-year-old girl who lived in the same home, who's being treated at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital in Memphis. Devastating details that are leaving this town of around 200 people with a lot of questions.
It's devastated because, I mean, it's just out of nowhere. I mean, right here in Christmas time, that is surreal.
I have no idea how they did that. I had a lot of questions. A lot of questions.
We reached out to the Lee County Sheriff's Office to see if we could get any answers to those questions, and they tell us it will be Monday before we can hopefully bring those to you. In the Medical District, I'm Walter Murphy, Action News 5.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top.
This is horrible.
Emotions are running high across Lee County, Arkansas.
This is inhumane. This is not normal. This is sickening.
Feelings coming out after Arkansas State Police says a 6-year-old boy was found buried beneath the hallway floor of a home in the town of Morrow.
It's heart-wrenching to hear about something like this close to the holidays.
The discovery was made Friday night by the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Investigators believe the child died possibly 3 months ago as a result of injuries suffered inside of the home, feet away from where Michaela Calloway lives.
It's very sad, very heartening that I have a house just 2 houses over and had no idea that there was a deceased child that close.
Not only did officers find that boy dead, but they also discovered a 6-year-old girl who reportedly had burns to the scalp. She was taken to a local hospital and is now listed in stable condition. Investigators have linked the children's mother, Ashley Rowland, and a man named Nathan Bridges to the crime. Both are charged with capital murder, abuse of corpse, tampering with evidence, and endangering the welfare of a minor.
I hope they're punished to the fullest.
The arrests bringing a sense of relief to this fractured community as questions loom about if this could have been prevented.
You have children and you don't want to care for them. There are people that do. There are people that will care for them. Please don't do these kind of things.
Now, for people who are asking, did the people around, like the neighbors, did they smell it? Now, it's possible, depending on how this child was buried. Like, if he was like really, really buried, like underneath the ground, they might not have been able to catch that scent. Because this is not the same as, like, you know, if a body is found in an apartment or something like that. Like these houses, like if you looked at that picture, I think I can go back. Let me see if I can show you guys. Like there really wasn't any houses close to this house. You guys see that? Let's see, can I back that up a little bit more? Okay, right here. This is a good example. So this is a little bit different than our typical, depending on where you live at. So I live out here in the DFW area, and most houses, even like in Louisiana, Oklahoma City, Kansas, Florida, New Orleans, a lot of the places that I've been, most houses are usually right next to each other. In this case, as you guys can see, at least for almost a block on the left-hand side and maybe even a block on the right-hand side, and in the front and rear, it doesn't look like any houses were built or at least standing next to them. So they're not any there's a lot of space in between one house to the next house. So with them keeping that decomposing body not only buried but centralized in that area, they might not have been able to catch that unless you walked right up on the house. So it's very possible that nobody smelled it, just to throw that out there. I'm sorry it took so long for me to even get there.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Ashley Godwin. We are beginning with new information in the Lee County death of a 6-year-old boy. He was found under a hallway floor inside a home Friday night. Our Memphis station's Jordan James reports.
This is horrible.
Emotions are running high across Lee County, Arkansas.
This is inhumane. This is not normal. This is sickening.
Feelings coming out after Arkansas State Police says a 6-year-old boy was found buried beneath the hallway floor of a home in the town of Morrow.
It's heart-wrenching to hear about something like this close to the holidays.
The discovery was made Friday night by the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Investigators believe the child died possibly 3 months ago as a result of injuries suffered inside of the home, feet away from where Michaela Calloway lives.
It's very sad, very heartening that I have a house just 2 houses over and had no idea that there was a deceased child that close.
Not only did officers find that boy dead, but they also discovered a 6-year-old girl who reportedly had burns to the scalp. She was taken to a local hospital and is now listed in stable condition. Investigators have linked the children's mother, Ashley Rowland, and a man named Nathan Bridges to the crime. Both are charged with
Now, I knew somebody in the chat was going to ask, and I'm thankful that y'all asked the question. Somebody said, were these kids twins? Let me show you. This is from the GoFundMe. Do they look like twins? If you ask me, I say no. I have no idea. Again, this picture right here, that's from the GoFundMe. They don't look like twins, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just so confused about this. Let's keep going.
Capital murder, abuse of corpse, tampering with evidence, and endangering the welfare of a minor.
I hope they're punished to the fullest.
The arrest bringing a sense of relief to this fractured community as questions loom about if this could have been prevented.
You have children and you don't want to care for them. There are people that do.
The little girl looked to be older, definitely, so I agree with that. So did these kids have different parents? How did both of these kids, if they have different parents, end up in this house? Were they was the mom parents of both of those kids and she just had two kids by two different men? I just really don't know.
There are people that will care for them. Please don't do these kind of things.
A plea for change and accountability.
Just a few days before Christmas, and residents in the small town of Morrow, Arkansas are just heartbroken. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Greg is off. This sadness comes after the body of a 6-year-old boy was discovered under a wooden floor in a home. WREG's Mike Suriani reports, and he shows us what happened in court today for the two people now charged in the crime.
This picture of 28-year-old Ashley Rowland with two black eyes was taken Monday morning as she was booked into the St. Francis County Jail. She, along with Nathan Bridges, are both charged with capital murder in the death of a 6-year-old boy whose body was found beneath the floor inside this house in Morrow, Arkansas. Both Rowland and Bridges appeared in court Monday, where they were ordered held without bond. The boy's body was found late Friday night by deputies who contacted the Arkansas State Police. News of the child's death and reports the boy may have died as many as 3 months ago sent shockwaves through the small town.
Very sad that I have a house just 2 houses over and had no idea that there was a deceased child that close.
Investigators say a young girl was found in the home and had what appeared to be scalp burns and other signs of abuse. In addition to capital murder, Rowland and Bridges are charged with abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, and endangering the welfare of a minor. Monday afternoon, a couple who said they were Nathan Bridges' parents came to turn off the water and gas at the home. While both declined to be interviewed, they said their son is innocent. In Lee County, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
Very tragic story there. Ashley Rowland and Nathan Bridges are scheduled to be back in court January 23rd.
So, as a conclusion, man, just really sad. Oh, let me go back to this GoFundMe so you guys can see that. Oh, that's a beautiful picture right there. Love that picture. Love that picture right there, guys. Y'all see that? I wish that this, oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Beautiful, beautiful. I wish that he would have had a couple of those. They should have matching eyes. What y'all think about that? Line them up in front of a baseball machine at about 100 miles an hour and just let them fly. Let it fly. This GoFundMe was asking for $50,000. Again, I want to remind you guys that DJ Just Jay is not against GoFundMe. Can you guys type in the chat and please tell people what my policy is on GoFundMe? Especially in the death of these kids. You guys can see that. I am not against GoFundMe. I am just against us not having a plan for life and death for all human beings, because we all will die at some point. We never think about getting life insurance. And I think that all human beings should have life insurance. So check it out. That's the GoFundMe. The message reads, my friend Karen has been trying to get custody. Let me put this up here so you guys can see it, because you're not going to be able to see it. The little girl looks older than the little boy. It's just, this whole thing is just very confusing. Let me get this up here so you guys can follow along. Right there. My friend Karen has been trying to get custody of her grandchild for over a year. She went through the proper channels, and 3 months ago, she had to pay a ridiculous amount of money, but just got her court order this week for her to see the kids every weekend. She showed up to get her grandchildren ages 5 and 7, so there you go. They're 2 years apart, so that makes sense. Ages 5 and 7, Friday, and was told the youngest was at a friend's house and the oldest couldn't walk. She immediately took her to the hospital where she was transferred to Lebanon with severe injuries and burns. I saw her. This child's hair had been chopped off. She is malnourished, cracked ribs, and many more burns on her body in various stages of healing. And I don't even know if y'all want to show y'all that. But if you want to see it, you can go to the GoFundMe page, Burial for a Child. I'm not going to show the pictures. It was pretty bad, but they posted the pictures. These injuries are presumed to be from her mother and the mother's boyfriend. So there you go. Mother's boyfriend. Why does the news have a problem with calling out boyfriends? Did y'all notice that with Janarius Stark's story and Justice Starks? They didn't want to come out and say that mom's boyfriend is a potential suspect in that girl's murder. They said a family friend. A family friend. And this GoFundMe, as you guys can see, right about in here, it says these injuries are presumed to be from her mother and mother's boyfriend. Later, Karen was notified that the youngest grandchild's decomposing body had been found. And again, found buried under the house. These children have endured so much pain, neglect, and death. I desperately want to help lessen the financial burden that the burial for the youngest and items needed for the oldest will present, I guess. They have so much healing to do, and I want us to come together and remove one burden from Karen's plate. That's awesome. I'll just share the GoFundMe. But she's asking for $50K. $50,000. Does she have custody of this child? Because based on what I read, it said that she had visitation. Am I right or am I wrong? That they grant her custody. I want y'all to think about this again because you've already got up to the tune of $25,000 and $15, they'll be at $25,000. Tell me if I'm wrong. In the statement I read in this GoFundMe, it said that she was granted visitation. That doesn't mean that she has custody of the surviving child. In most states, when there is a crime against a child, the state usually will cover the cost of the burial. Yes or no? Lee County, Arkansas. Maybe that county doesn't do that. Maybe the state of Arkansas doesn't do that. You said she'll be granted emergency custody, but shouldn't you get custody before you ask for funding? Let me say that again. Because I know some people are going to be in the comment section. They're going to tell me whether I'm right or wrong about this. And I'm just simply asking a question. Shouldn't you obtain custody of the surviving child first? Full custody. Then ask for financial backing. Again, if the state is going to cover the burial costs, that's one thing. If they're not, then fine. I'm not against it. I'm just saying this is why all human beings should have life insurance and sort that thing out like that rather than us just planning on people seeing this story and counting on the goodwill of people whether they'll donate. Because what if they didn't donate anything? Then what would you do? You didn't have a plan in place. Nobody had a plan in place. But again, I'm just simply asking questions because I got questions about this entire story. And I mean no disrespect to the family. Let me say that again. I mean no disrespect to Lee County, family and friends or neighbors. I mean no disrespect. I'm just asking a question. Okay? But again, to the little boy, RIP, to the girl, the surviving child, keep her in your prayers. And I hope that she can grow up and become something amazing. Okay, because from what I understand, she's in good spirits, and that's awesome. That is awesome. Children have a lot of love in their hearts, and I just hope that she can continue to just put love and education as her focus and grow up and become a healthy, awesome individual. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening to the story. We hope to get justice. We'll let you guys know what the conclusion is. Okay, thank you.